Thank you so much for checking out my Thumbmagic review, allowing you to make viral YouTube thumbnails with AI. If you're familiar with the software Thumbmagic, this was pretty much done by the same creator, and if you would like to check them out, they do come with the ability to try them for free, which you can click the link down below in the description of the pinned comment, and if you do want to upgrade, I also have a coupon code ISLAND, which will also allow you to save some money. Let's begin. So Thumbmagic is very straightforward. There's not a whole lot going on the interface of it, and that can obviously be a good thing or bad thing depending on how you're looking at it. In terms of straightforwardness, it is very simple, okay? So let's say we want to create a thumbnail. Let's click right here. And there's going to be three ways that you can do it in the beginning. So you can create an AI thumbnail using a YouTube link, which is going to be my preference. I tend to have a lot of YouTube thumbnails where I can just go in, paste an old one, and see if I can get something better. You can upload one as well. And of course, you can use a transcript. So this is probably going to be good if you've already done your video and you're looking to, say, upload a video and use a specific thumbnail. That's going to be something that you can do. But if you already have one posted like me, this will work out very well. Give me one moment and I'm going to show you a specific link and we'll go from there. So let's paste this in, give it a nanosecond, and it's going to be done there just for showing that. So that's going to be the original one. This is about using beacons for a tutorial. Let's do process video. All right, and this is going to be where the magic can happen. So these are going to be the specific templates that you have right here. There's going to be text behind image, before and after, educational, which is going to be the pro version, history, object in hand, contextual background, blueprint, there's Alex Hormozy, explainer, and podcast. So you can also do replicating a template in case you want to go that route. So there's a few things about this, like the pros and cons, what I like that they do have the templates for you, where if you want to do something similar to this, you can just pretty much just use it and it's going to plug you in there. I also like how you can create an avatar. I already have one right here for Marketing Island. However, when I did it, you can only use one image. I feel like if you could utilize more images, it would allow to get the best version of you, because sometimes maybe you want to have one where you're smiling or looking left or looking right. That's just me based upon using a lot of avatars and other AI software, but it is extremely easy to set up. Another great thing here is that it only costs 1 credit. So it is going to be on a credit-based system. And when you go to create it, I believe you get 3 of them. So that's pretty good value in terms of what you get. So let's say we're going to go with the explainer one right here. I'm going to do generate thumbnails. So creating 3 thumbnail variants, as I talked about, analyzing video content, estimated time is 20 seconds. Not too bad at all. Either way, I'm not going to make you wait. I'll cut it. And when I get back to it, we'll see what it looks like. All right, and so here we are. As you can see, it took the main title right here based upon like the software that I was going after the tutorial. So that's going to be beacons with the little light switch on. Sometimes it can be the light switch, sometimes it can be a graph, and so on and so forth. And overall, the first thing I'm looking at right here is like, does it look like me? Big thumbs up, yes. Okay, I've seen AI and avatars where, let's just say I look like Gumby, for the lack of a better reasoning, but this looks great. This looks like me, and so on and so forth. You have the back right here. Some are going to be a little bit office-y. This one looks more like, I guess that could be an office as well. And this maybe could be a kitchen, but you get the idea when the background's going to be blurred. There are also going to be sections that you can utilize here. You can add titles, you can edit with AI. You can also download if you want to use it. In terms of the edit with AI, there have been some times where I want to change something and it says like I'm unable to do that. I'm not sure if it's because I'm not being specific enough, but let's click on it right here just so you can see how it works. It says first click a point on the image above, then describe your edit here. So I'm going to click on my shirt. Let's see, there we go. Change my shirt color to, if I can spell it properly, my shirt. My excuse is that I have this huge mic in front of me and it's always in the way, to green. There I go again. So let's do generate new thumbnail. And there we go. That's an example of that. So I think that does need a little bit of work there. You're going to notice that sometimes it goes by very fast where it says like, we're unable to do that. There are going to be times where it will allow you to, and there are going to be times where it doesn't. So that's like a nitpick that I have with it. Let's go with edit AI. We'll do this one once again. First click and point on the image. Let's do replace the text beacons with, let's just do like stand store, something like that. Let's do generate new thumbnail. And once again, couldn't generate the thumbnail, incompatible prompt image combination, poor image quality, or technical limitations. Try using a different avatar image with a clear, well-lit face, or rephrase your video content. So I've experienced some wonkiness. I don't know how else to explain it with that, but the edit with AI definitely needs some work there. pretty sure I was pretty clear about what I wanted to do, but nevertheless, it wasn't doing it. And there are times where it will work, and there's going to be some times where it doesn't work, as you've seen. So in terms of like the pros and cons as I'm going over that, I think that could use a little bit more polishing. Anyway, let's do another one. So let's go back to say Thumbmagic right here, and let's do create thumbnail. And I'm just going to get another video example. Give me one moment. All right, so this one is going to be from Wix. We have a business website. I'm going to do process video. And this one, I do want to use the text behind it, and I think that's going to be fine there. That should be me, obviously, when it replaces it. We have there are some shorts ones in case you want to go that route, right? But let's do generate thumbnails. I'm going to do 1 credit once again. I do like the fact that it is only 1 credit. I've seen other, thumbnail generation softwares where it seems like you're always getting nickel and dimed with credits. So it's pretty cool that you get 3 thumbnail variants with only 1 credit. Not too bad of value in that aspect. All right, and so here we are. This one looks a little bit more AI. I think that's a good example of how I wish the avatar section would be able to upload more avatars, because it kind of looks like me, but from the side, it doesn't look like me as much. It also says Wix hack. That one's not bad. That one actually looks probably the best, but overall, not too bad in terms of the generation. Like for someone who has trouble with creating any type of thumbnail, I think this is fantastic, because being able to do this very quickly can save you so much time and effort. So I definitely want to applaud it with that aspect of it. But once again, if we wanted to say add something, let's do add title, or maybe let's do edit with AI again. First, click a point on the image, then describe your edit here. Once again, you can't drag and drop either, so it's pretty much just clicking on it. Change Wix hack text to just Wix. Let's see if it'll do that. Like, I think it would be a lot better if you could highlight all of it, and then it would be probably a better understanding of what it can do. But let's do generate new thumbnail and see if it actually listens. And so for this one, it just kind of gave us the same thing. So once again, the edit with AI definitely needs some help there overall. Are there any changes? Does this look a little bit darker? Either way, it still didn't change it to what we were looking for there overall. And I'll give you some more examples of what I've done. I'll go back over here. All right, so here's one for the best AI headshot generators. That's where I actually added a title, as you can see. Before it didn't have that, but not too bad. As you can see, that kind of looks like, that looks much more like me. So before and after, but probably past for being me. This one's looking into the wow, I've never had hair like that before. Okay, but these are actually pretty decent. So the before and afters, like the text is different there in terms of where the spot is. And this is just going to be an example overall where it's going to be in the middle. So it really greatly depends on what you're going to be looking for. I think if you're in more of a viral niche, these are going to be fantastic. Like some of these, like the contextual background, aren't going to be as good for me, say, like reviewing Shopify or, something similar to that. But anyone who has a much broader niche, I think, would be much better for a specific template like that. History maybe, but for me specifically, like text behind, before and after, like educational maybe, podcast explainer and blueprint, those would probably be best for me in like the internet, online marketing, business space. These I'd say hit more a lot of the viral niches or things like that, which is good. So overall, I do think they could have some more templates aside from the ones here, but they just launched not too long ago. And by not too long ago, I want to say around a couple of weeks. So given the fact that this is coming from the Thumbmagic creators, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot in store in terms of the growth and what they're doing, very specifically when you compare them to Thumbmagic and how big they have gotten overall compared to when they first started. And before we wrap up this review, let's talk about the Thumbmagic pricing. So starter is only going to be $19 per month. With this, no watermark, you get 100 credits a month. That's a hefty amount if you think about it, especially for the fact that you're getting around 3 thumbnails per each. So that's really good if you ask me in terms of the specifics. You only get 1 avatar, but not too bad if you're just looking to say use you or someone else or whoever it is going to be as your avatar. If you only need 1, not too bad. Access to starter templates, you can edit with AI. I think that's probably my biggest gripe with this so far, is that needs a little bit more editing and work in order to really finalize what you want, especially if you don't get the exact template, especially if you don't get the exact thumbnail that you want in the first place. I was looking at this and I said that. Then you have Pro, where it's obviously going to be upgraded, 500 credits a month, 10 avatars, starter and pro templates, access to replicate template, and 2 times faster thumbnail generation speed. Even with that, what I was doing, it was pretty fast. So pretty good overall in terms of the value. You definitely do get great value with whatever it is you're going to be using. Plus, if you want to go yearly, you can save 40%. And don't forget, regardless of if you go monthly or yearly, you can use my coupon code down below in the description of the pinned comment, which is going to be ISLAND, ISLAND, to save you even more money in the process. So let's bring this Thumbmagic review to a closing now. And overall, I think it's off to a solid start. It's simple, easy to use, and the credit system actually makes sense. One credit gives you 3 thumbnails, which is pretty fair in my opinion. If you've been struggling to figure out the thumbnail game, this tool can really help point you in the right direction. And since it's made by the team behind Thumbmagic, I'm expecting plenty of updates and improvements as it grows. That said, it's not perfect yet, of course. You can only upload one picture for your avatar, which, in my opinion, limits how accurate the results can be in terms of how you look, and I'd love to see a lot more templates added. That's probably the biggest area for improvement. Aside with that is the editing with AI, as sometimes it'll say things like, it's not allowed to do that, when I think I've been pretty clear as possible when I hover over a text, click on it, and say, replace this to a specific word. For example, this is one I did in the past where I believe it did work, 4,500 a week to 4,500 a month. It said, no problem, I can do that, but I feel that could be tweaked a little bit more just to have you get much accurate results in terms of what you're looking to get so that you can use it and have it as perfect as you like. And while the editing can be a minor issue there, I still think Thumbmagic has a ton of potential, especially if you want a simple and quick way to create thumbnails without spending hours in Photoshop. I definitely would say it's worth checking out, especially for the fact that you can actually try it for free, create some thumbnails, and then go from there just to make sure that you like it, you enjoy the results, and you want to continue using it. And if you do, be sure to check out that link down below in the description of the pinned comment to try it for free, and use coupon code ISLAND to save you even more money if you want to upgrade. My name is James. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy.